What's the vibe been like for you? I mean, again, we've got this thankfulness going. Are you starting to hear some, kind of cultural impact of what you're doing, stories coming back to you of people being more thankful already?
Yeah, look, maybe not in this week. Generally, there's a little bit of a lag time, and I usually find out 3 years after that that there was something that happened. Just there's a quick story I've got from a lady who was in my touch rugby team, one of the parents, of the kids, and she came up to me and she said, "Hey, what's up with this thankfulness logo?" And I told her what it was, and she said, "Wow, I put that on my car all these years ago. I was in a tough time. My
Mm.
friend said, 'What are you doing?' But it really helped me." So generally it's out there, but I just really got to trust God that it's touching
Mm.
people's hearts like that.
Well, I actually have my own testimony of this because a few
Oh,
years ago
cool.
in 2020, which can we all agree was a really challenging year for the entire world.
True.
But personally, one of the most challenging years for me, my father passed away that year. And it was the
Mm.
year that I think, motivated by some scripture about, thanking God each day and praying each day, but also having spoken to you previously about Thankfulness Week, I was really stirred in this area of my life. And so I decided at the start of that year as a New Year's resolution to find one thing to be thankful for every day. So I did
Oh, so good.
365 days of gratitude. And I tell
Wow.
you what, was I challenged that year? I certainly was. Yeah,
Oh, look,
so
that's so great. And
big.
there's a study out of Indiana that says that there's lasting effects that when you are thankful, it exercises this part of your brain and it actually starts tuning your brain in to look for other things to be thankful for.
Yeah,
Mm.
and honestly, I think it really helped me get through that year because on one of the days where it was the most challenging, I remember just crying in the bathroom and I was sitting on the toilet, if you can
Oh
forgive
man,
the
yeah.
description. And I was just like, oh God, what's going on? I got nothing. And then I thought, you know what? The fact that I can sit on a comfortable toilet with running
True.
water,
Yep.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is something to be grateful for. And it just kind of shifted my perspective. So thank you for what you do. And let's talk about what you have in store today. What would you like us to focus on?
Yeah, well, the challenge I've got for you guys today, Andrew and Kat, is to think of three things that are around you in your life that you might take for granted. The toilet, a comfortable toilet seat is probably one of those. But things around you that you can look for, think about them and why you're thankful for them. Like if I just look at my toothbrush and toothpaste and think, oh, I'm thankful for them. But if I think why, well, my teeth are going to look a lot different if I didn't have toothbrush or toothpaste. I don't know what they used before, like a rough leaf or whatever. Our breath would smell a lot worse. So when I go, hey, I'm thankful for this toothpaste, it protects me from fillings and it enables me to eat a whole lot of sugary food. I'm just kidding. It enables me to eat a whole lot of food. Then suddenly you're more thankful for that thing. So, guys, that's my challenge for you today.
Okay, well, look, it's not just for Kat and I either today. While we're doing this, I want you guys to be thinking at home, what is something, and I think if I'm getting the right message here, Ferg, it's really the little things too that you might
Yeah.
otherwise forget to be grateful for.
And importantly, why you're thankful for it.
Ooh, like little things.
Yeah, all right, Kat, kick us off. What's on your mind?
Okay. First of all, I am grateful that we have a coffee machine at work because it is a real blessing to be able to come
Amen.
into work and having forgot to have one at home or not had time, being able to have a coffee at work. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Second,
good.
love having a gate remote. I know that sounds a little bit fancy and
No, that's
fandangled,
great.
but I love the fact that I can push the button and the gate will open. I don't have to get out of the vehicle and then open the gate in the rain and then shut it
That's
behind
very
me.
helpful.
Amazing. And then third, I really appreciate having a fridge because let's be honest, back in time when there were no refrigerators, food would have tasted a little bit more funky. So I appreciate that as well.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
well done. Great job.
All right. So for me, I was thinking about a couple little things. One thing that I wanted to say I'm thankful for is for a body that heals itself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like the number of times I picked up little knocks and bruises and things like that. I'm like, but I'm okay. I'm in one piece. I'm walking along. And
Imagine
you
if
see,
you hadn't, your body, you'd be like, I'm falling apart.
well, that's it, right? So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful, maybe similar to the old car remote, Cat, but I'm grateful for being able to travel. Like the fact now that
Yeah.
you can get around this country that we live in minutes that would have taken our ancestors like days is pretty
True.
amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I tell you the one thing though that I really appreciated, and I thought about this from yesterday, was that yesterday was cold and I was able to turn the heat on in my house. I
Yeah.
was thinking like, man, you think again, 100 years ago, right? maybe even 200 years ago,
You'd be in the forest looking for sticks.
you've got a cold day and you're just cold. Like you're just cold all day. That's just the way it is. And now we're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. I can literally flick a little dial and
Amazing.
my whole living room feels completely different. And I didn't do anything to earn that technology. And yet for a few cents, I can feel a lot better. So for me, that was the thing that I was particularly grateful for
Man,
for today.
We really are comfortable people, aren't we?
Yeah.
We really
Well
are.
done, you guys.
Thank you. What about you, Ferg? What's a little thing that you're grateful for?
Yeah, I often just think running clean water, that we don't need to walk for it. We can just go to our wall in our shower and turn that on, and suddenly water's coming out. Not only is it coming out clean, that it's not going to infect us, but it's also hot. Like, I heard that people used to have baths like once a month or once every couple of months or whatever. They just,
Yeah.
how would you clean? We get to clean every day in this beautiful clean water. So I'm really thankful for that.
You know, my mum told us a story once of her grandmother who would have to do the laundry once a week with this enormous copper cauldron, basically.
Yeah.
Collect all the firewood, light it, boil the water that way, and then she'd be in there literally the whole day, like
It's
mixing
like
stuff
clothing
around.
stew.
Yeah.
Like just making a nice stew of everyone's clothes to like clean it out. Isn't it incredible?
Like, that wasn't that long ago, was it?
No. I'll tell you one thing, Ferg, that comes to mind as we've talked about this today, and why I think it's so good for everybody. A number of years ago, when I was heading into work, I had one of those mornings where I, hadn't had time to have breakfast, right? And so I turned up, and that morning there was just like a coffee and a muffin on my desk. I hadn't asked anybody for it, but just for some reason, there it was sitting on my desk.
You're like, oh Jesus, thank you.
Well, and this is
Yeah.
it. And I distinctly remember having this moment where I was like, oh, it's a little thing that could have easily just been like, oh, well, it's just a little thing. But I remember in that moment, something that's always stayed with me is that I felt like God said to me, look, if you can learn to see me in the little things, you'll see me in the big things.
Wow, yeah.
But if you can't see him in the little things, you won't see him in the big things. And so
Yeah.
that's why I love this kind of stuff, man. It's kind of like it is an exercise. It's a muscle. Our ability
It
to
is,
see
absolutely.
God in these little things, right?
Yeah, the more you look for them and the more you note them, the more you'll start seeing them and the more your brain will start looking for them. So it's just this great upward spiral for your mind.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ferg, because I'm reminded, like you mentioned, the washing situation. It's not until something in your life goes wrong that you start to appreciate what you had. Like, you will never appreciate a washing machine more than when it breaks.
Come on.
And you have laundry
Yeah.
piling up and you're thinking, how do I turn my bathtub into a washing machine? And then it becomes very difficult. But I want
Yeah,
to
and
talk
I
about this. Like,
Sorry,
Ferg,
you go, Kat.
That's okay. I want to talk about this, the fact that it can be a challenge sometimes. I think sometimes we can get stuck in our comfort and we can fail to see the blessings that we have around us. So what would your encouragement be to someone who is struggling to find those things to be grateful for?
Yeah, look, there are a couple of things. We've got a resource on our website that if you're struggling, I've created this post of 240 things to be thankful for. And so you can download that. And if you're struggling to look for things, that's really good. I really like what you just said, Kat, that if you consider what would life be like without this washing machine, without hot water, without electricity, without, the use of my fingers, any of these things, what would life be like? Then that's also a great way of being able to help you appreciate it, because you go, wow, that would actually be a lot tougher. So I'd say grab a resource like what we've got on our website, and also just ask that question that you just put out to the audience here.
Ah, amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.